Oh, by the way, hey, this is a spoiler cast, by the way. It started.
I like this thing.
Are we officially started?
Yeah, we're officially starting.
Well,
Do you use this?
Huh? Oh, yeah, that's the best one, the Switch. Yeah,
Do you use this?
Yeah, bring it to me with work, cause...
I was gonna take it.
Oh, Joseph! Boy, that's an audio
I was gonna take it if you didn't use it.
Of course I
We're
use
not
it.
sponsored by Fidget Cube.
Oh, by the way, hey, please sponsor us, Fidget Cubes. We need, hey, are we gonna release our own official set of fidget spinners?
No, nobody watches us.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we don't actually do that many videos anymore.
Yeah. Right, so, by the way, like I said, we went to the spoiler cast for It Comes at Night.
Oh yeah, that's surprise spoiler cast, people.
So
That
Joseph...
on the schedule.
So what comes at night, William?
Nothing.
Oh, there we go.
Dreams.
Disappointment.
Yeah, wow, man, I legitimately went to that movie with way higher expectation, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't read anything about it. I just heard that it had good reviews, right? I was like, okay, good reviews, right? And the trailer made it seem like it was interesting, right? I was like, okay, cool, right? And then fucking nothing comes at night.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow.
Well, something was there, and we just didn't get to see it.
Yeah, we got cooked. It's basically this movie was just a shitty combined version of 10 Cloverfield Lanes. It's literally if we imagine watching 10 Cloverfield Lanes, right? Mm-hmm. So literally we get all the way to her escaping, then cut end the movie. Like, you know, we're in 10 Cloverfield Lanes when she escapes from John Goodman.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing. The thing is, with 10 Cloverfield Lane, that ending would have been fine. We didn't need to see the aliens, but it was there. And it's like, oh, that's fine. I can accept that. Because, you know, maybe you think, oh, there's probably nothing there. Oh, no, there was something there. You know, but it's fine either way. Because with 10 Cloverfield Lane, it wasn't really about what... I mean, it kind of was what it was about there. But it was more about the paranoia that whatever was out there influenced them while they were under the bunker. You know, that was the whole thing. And this movie did sort of the same thing, but they're not in a secure bunker, and they bring in the family. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we're all buddy with this family, right? It's like, don't trust them though, because, you know, that's kind of how it is. Trust only family.
It's spooky stuff.
And then, you know, shit goes down, and then once that shit goes down, you just kind of you see the conclusion.
Well, yeah, it was that did not felt like a conclusion at all. That legitimately when it ended, I was like,
it feels like the end of a first act.
Yeah, it's literally the entire everything. I was waiting for something to happen, right? Like nothing happened. Like once they started getting the paranoia, I was like, okay, good, all right, good. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're moving the plot along. But then that was it. Now then it was like, oh, okay, they shot the other family.
You know, I was kind of hoping though, for some reason, at the end when they were just sitting there staring at each other with the empty chair between them, I really thought the dad was gonna say, "Well, more food for us now." I legitimately thought that's how it was gonna go. I don't know why.
So
at least that would have been something, Joseph.
I guess if anything. Since this is a kind of spoiler cast, I think we should just get the general plot down. I'll say what basically happened. You did? Right? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Right?
It's shitty 10 Cloverfield Lanes.
It's like, it begins in the middle of, the movie starts in the middle of things and it ends in the middle of things. Yeah. Now, it starts with, you know, basically, there's 3 people. I think it was...
well, technically it starts with 4 people. It starts with the mom, dad, the son, and the grandpa.
But I think it was... Philip was, I think it was Paul.
Paul was
Sarah,
the father.
Paul the father. Sarah the mother. Travis the son.
And then Grandpa.
And then Grandpa Bud.
Wait, well, did he add a name? I thought it was just Grandpa.
Then he said the dad said Bud.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway.
A bunch of times.
The thing is, Bud is sick with something, and we know what the sickness is. We see like all these splotches, and he's just not there.
Yeah, leprosy.
Yeah, what you can call it. We'll just call it leprosy.
Right? Yeah, might as well be leprosy at this point.
Right? But he's sick, and then they decide to put him out of his misery because this sickness will kill you if you get in contact.
Yeah, apparently it's super sickness. Yeah. And he was quarantined by himself also. Yeah.
And also, we don't really know what the sickness does other than...
It just gives you scars, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, then it gives you nightmares.
Yeah.
I mean, possibly.
The thing is, we don't know if...
We'll discuss that later. Let me just get the plot down. Right? They kill him, you know...
they burn his body.
They burn the body.
Apparently, they have to burn the body, apparently.
Yeah, they burn the body so the sickness doesn't spread. And that's general quarantine stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, that makes sense. That's why they do it in all those movies, why they burn the thing after.
And then it's like... Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention they have a dog called Stanley. Also, so it's a bit afterwards, and then, you know... There's this guy. A guy breaks into this house. Like the guy's like, "Hey man, I was only here looking for some supplies for my family. That's all back over yonder way, right?" Yeah. And then you know Paul is like, "All right, you know what? I'm gonna tie you up to a tree for a day or two, crack you so you can tell me the truth, and then we'll see what goes on." And also
to make sure you're not sick, because apparently the sickness takes effect a day, and apparently
it takes a day for the sickness to spread over the body, and so he's like, "Okay, you're not sick. I kind of trust you. You have some good ass supplies because we kind of really need a lot of supplies.
Yeah, we need goats and chicken.
Yeah, 2 goats, 4 chickens specifically.
6.
Right, 6 chickens. Yeah.
Wow, that's good supplies, boy.
I know. I mean, anyway.
Holy shit.
So they're like, okay. And then Paul's like, okay, to the rest of the family, I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna go find his family for him.
Get his supplies.
Get his supplies and bring them back over here.
His family's the +1 at this point.
Yeah.
The real prize is the chicken.
No, they were gonna go over there for 3 days to see if they were sick.
I know, but that's more.
And then come back.
That's more into specifics.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
what you really do.
not that specific, Joseph.
Fucking whore.
They get in the truck. The car gets shot because there's 2 other group of.
There's bandits.
Yeah, there's 2 bandits really.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there. They
Hey,
shoot
what's
him,
up?
they kill him. Then they get back in their car, the truck. They go and pick up the family after 3 days, supposedly, pretty much. Then they come back and say, "Hey, where's the family?" Paul lays out some ground rules for the new family, which is, I think it's Will, Andrew, and
Kim's the wife.
Kim.
Andrew's their 5-year-old son, and Will's the dude that broke into the house.
Who was the father of the other family. So okay. Then there's the quick montage of them being all
of being family bonding time. By the way,
Then there's this one random moment where Travis wants to fuck Kim.
that went nowhere.
That was kind of there. And then, also, just to mention, the movie's kind of interspersed with some nightmare segments that comes from Travis, because Travis does not have good nights at all. And they're probably the scariest parts of the movie. Anyway,
Yeah, they were the only scary part of the movie.
And then, one night, Travis wakes up, he finds Andrew in another room, because apparently he sleptwalked there or something.
No, hold on. Before there, then one day they were out.
One day they were out, and then Stanley the dog barks at something that's out in the woods.
No, we never see this.
We never see it. And Stanley chases after this thing. Travis chases after Stanley, and then Stanley is assumably killed off screen.
He disappeared. They're like, So he disappears. They can't find him. They chase him into the woods for a little bit. Mm-hmm. They find out he's a smart dog. He knows his way home.
Then they go back to the house, lock everything up and everything.
Yeah.
And so.
Then that night,
Travis wakes up, finds Andrew in another room. It's really weird. He's like, "Why are you here?" He returns Andrew back to his parents' room, and then he goes down to check at the front door, which is always locked. They never open it, especially at night.
Yeah, because it will come at night.
Yeah, it comes at night, and then he goes towards the door. The door is open. Spooky noise. He runs back, wakes up the rest of the family, and they find out that Stanley's there, right?
He got thrown through the window.
Yeah. And then after that, they start discussing about what to do, right? It's like, was the door closed and everything? Travis like, no, it was open. It's like, oh, wait, why? What was open? And then they're thinking maybe it was Andrew that opened the door, but it's like Andrew's too short to open the locks and blah blah blah. Paranoia happens.
Yeah, and so then they quarantine each other off.
They quarantine each other off for the day to take it. The infection. It takes a day.
So and for everyone to calm down as well.
Right, for everyone to calm down as well. So the day happens, and then basically.
Then Travis has another spooky ass.
Travis hears crying through the very thin walls of the house,
Attic,
right, of the attic, right, specifically. And then he's like, "Oh man," he's hearing that the other family is planning to leave, right? And so they're like, "Oh shit, man, I gotta go tell my family." And then Travis goes tells Paul, and then Paul's like, "Okay, me and your mother are gonna go and make sure this family doesn't take all of our food and shit, right?" And so conflict ensues. Paul ends up shooting the kid and the mother, and Sarah ends up killing Will. Yeah. And it's all kind of sad, but and then it turns out Andrew was sick, and then because Travis touched Andrew, Travis is sick too. And then it kind of they show you that he is sick. He has the splotches and everything. He's just not well. And then Sarah, you see at the end of the movie, Sarah and Paul sitting at the table alone. They're in silence, really thinking about the moment of what's going to happen. Or if you're not sure if it's after they kill Travis or not, you're not really sure when this happens. But then they look at each other, cut to black, the movie ends. It's a movie that, from the way I say it, it kind of sounds disappointing. And the thing is, the movie kind of was.
Well, we don't know what came at night. That's the problem.
I mean, the thing is with this movie, it's more of a as it was with 10 Cloverfield Lane, it plays on the idea of paranoia in an isolated setting, you know, which is what it works for maybe the most part. The thing is, it doesn't work well, especially when we expect the payoff at the end, and there really isn't much of one.
Like, the entire movie just felt like it was a first act to something else. Like, like when they cut the screen, I was like, wait, is that it? Is there a part 2? Does anything else? Like, nothing just happens. Like I was like, when they sat at the table, I was like, oh, cool, they're sitting here, they're gonna discuss what to do next, right? I was like, all right, here's the next part. Nope, it just cuts, it just ends like that. I was like, oh, well, okay then. Okay.
I mean, I can understand if they didn't want to show the monster, but sometimes in some movies, in some horror movies, it pays to never show the monster. Like, it's kind of like a kind of subversion of the trope of, seeing the monster at the end. It's like, oh my god, that's what was causing everything to happen.
Hey, at least the monster wasn't the bye-bye man.
Yeah, I know. But shut up. Shut up. Oh my god.
Wait, how was that movie, The Bye-Bye Man?
Oh god.
It was spooky.
Speaking of bees, so did you know that the Babadook is now an LGBT symbol?
Yeah, that's just, I don't understand.
The what?
The Babadook?
Someone just took, have you ever seen the movie The Babadook?
Yeah.
You know the creature, how it looks like in the story?
Yeah.
They took an image of the Babadook and literally just plastered it in with like in front of a background of like rainbows.
Okay.
Now it's an LGBT
flag,
icon.
Other flag,
Oh, cool. That's good to know. Nice.
And for some reason, people just kind of ran with the joke.
Okay, well.
It was just one of those random things.
It's
Okay,
official.
So that's the basic plot. I was like, so now let's actually go to dive in and discuss all the major parts. So it starts with them killing the grandpa. I was like, okay, I can make sense. All right, okay. So they killing the game. I was like, okay, they're probably gonna explain what's going on with the grandpa, right? But no, they don't ever explain. The only time we see the grandpa again is in Travis's dream. I was like, okay, the grandpa has to be related to this somehow if he keeps showing up in the dreams, right? Because I keep thinking, okay, maybe he's the monster or some shit, right? Right, because he keeps appearing in Travis' dreams, and I was like, this has to be connected some fucking how. No, they never fucking. It's like, here's the grandpa. Remember the grandpa? We still have to pay him to act in this movie.
Right.
We have him for another day. Fuck, what do we do? Oh, fuck. Oh, put him in a nightmare scene. Right.
I think. Hold on, let me get my train of thought here. No, the thing is, it's fine if they didn't show the monster. No, Joseph, don't take my chicken. It's fine. No, fuck off. You have your chicken.
You're right.
It's fine if they don't show the monster because the thing is, it's supposed to play on the setting of paranoia, and how that can basically ruin everything.
Yeah.
Which it does fine for the most part.
Well, I'm fine with that, but the problem is they hyped that monster up too much during the movie. They're like,
yeah, because the thing is,
because they're like, oh, super spooky bullshit, right? Then the dog disappeared. We're like, okay, so eventually the dog runs away because he heard something in the forest, so he runs after it, right? So everyone chases the dog into the forest. So then they get to like this. I won't say it was a clearing, but you get to this point in the forest where I was like, okay, what do we see in the forest? Fucking nothing. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, I get it. Suspense. I'm fine with that, right? But then when we see the dog again, no. Before that, Travis has a nightmare again about him going to the woods alone, finding the dog, and we see him seeing something that's killing the dog, but we don't see what's killing the dog. I was like, okay, this is the perfect time to show what's going on at night. I was like, okay. It was like it will give us a better idea of the spookiness of the night. But no, we just see him holding the gun, reacting to whatever is killing the dog, right? And then he wakes up. And then they find the dog all cut up.
I'm starting to have thoughts right now. Because I think Travis might have already been sick by the beginning of the movie.
That's what I was thinking, but they said it takes only a day for the effects to show up, so like, why would it, pause it?
Yes, exactly.
We weren't talking.
Like as you were saying.
We weren't talking.
We weren't talking at all.
God damn it, boss. When did I leave? So we could let a boss know, so he could.
Now.
Oh. Okay. So your boss can
Just
edit.
left.
Okay. So what were we?
I'm looking at your cards. That's all I'm doing.
Okay. So no, where were we? What was the discussion we were having?
About the dog.
Okay. Yeah. So about the dog.
Yeah, the dog didn't clear anything.
So the dog was so we see the dog because I thought that they were going to at least reveal what was going on with the dog at least because that would make more sense, right? Because like okay, the dog's like super important family member. I was like, okay, good. So we get some what's going on with the dog, but no, we don't see anything with the dog, right? Right, like So the thing about the monster, like I feel like we didn't have to physically see the monster. I feel like we should have given hints, right? Cause
We were given hints.
well, no, well,
No, I'm telling you, we were given hints.
yeah, I know hints, but like
No, the one big hint, I'm gonna tell you right now, is to Travis. Because the thing is, he's always saying something, but the one big hint we see of the possible monster was in that drawing.
oh, that's right. I forgot. There was a whole scene with him drawing.
I thought that was just two people wearing gas masks.
Was it?
Was it the way that was done? No, on the trees.
Oh, were they on the trees? Mm-hmm. Oh.
The thing is you have to understand is that throughout the movie, Travis has been having nightmares, as I said before. And you'll see very odd images. It starts with him basically walking towards the red door that they keep locked. That's never supposed to open. Excuse me. Oh man.
I don't think they killed Travis. I think he just died.
Wait, does he die?
I don't know. No one knows.
He did just go because she was like, "It's okay to let go," and then in the dream sequence, he just walks to the door and it's over and she's crying.
No, remember that was kind of the same thing with the grandpa. The flood. Anyway, Travis has been having nightmares, and it's basically just him carrying a lantern, walking towards the door, and then eventually he does walk out the door. And now, he walks out in one dream sequence. He walks out the door and he goes out into the woods, and then he sees his father's face. It's just black eyes. Very spooky. You're like,
was that father? I thought that was the grandpa.
No, that was Paul.
Oh, okay. Because I know he kept having to do with the grandpa. And the grandpa was just.
Yeah, I know, but that's basically because he's more or less haunted by the image of his grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I mean, how did he ever? I don't think he ever saw the grandpa's.
He did. Remember?
Yeah.
But he never saw the black eyes thing. But that's just him. That's just
that's just the dream sequence. Yeah.
And so there's this other sequence where he's walking through the woods, and then he hears his dog in the distance, and he basically brings up a gun. He uses the light source from that gun. Then he's walking through the woods, and he sees something doing something to his dog. We don't see what it is. There's also this really odd sequence. Again, bringing up your point, Austin, about how he never really saw his grandfather's full transformation. Formation.
Yeah.
Where he's basically all black eyed and he's vomiting this black goo. He also gets that weird sex dream with Kim. He's like, oh look, Kim.
Yeah, he's a horny 17-year-old boy.
Yeah, I know.
In the apocalypse.
It's a woman that's not related to me by blood.
Yeah. It's just like with Ellie and that chick in the side game of Last of Us.
Shut up! Oh my god! Oh, yeah. But anyway, it was like this weird. She's throwing like this black goo onto him, and it's really weird. The same thing with the grandpa. Not the.
The Last of Us was really good, right?
But shut up, okay. But anyway.
Would you say The Last of Us was really good?
Yes.
Yeah, but the problem with The Last of Us, I don't know what Patrick Stewart's character was in the movie. Right, that's my problem with The Last of Us.
Anyway, away from Austin's tilting. It's basically
that's how you told William, by the way.
Anyway.
Oh, I get it.
Joseph gets it.
Okay,
Get it, Joseph?
Yeah. Getting back on topic here.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? We never go on. We always ramble on and off.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting back on topic.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so it's basically he sees his grandfather with all the black splotches on his body and his eyes flashing with black goo. Then he kind of wakes up. From that dream, and then he has this little thing where he's kind of throwing up this black goo.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I thought that black goo was gonna be playing way more relevance in the movie. I was like, okay, cool.
It may have been. That may have, because the thing is, to my understanding, once he basically he throws up all over his hands, and then when he sees the black goo on his hands, all these splotches appear on his arm.
Yeah. And
so because those splotches, then he's starting to rub away at them, right? But then this disappear. Now we assume the thing is we assume he was still dreaming at that point.
Yeah, he was having a dream within a dream.
If he wasn't dreaming, what does that say about the rest of the movie then?
You're right.
But anyway,
what do you mean if he wasn't dreaming?
What if he did throw up that black goo?
Remember the dream sequence where he
No, I understand. It's just but it didn't show up on him, and he was awake. He had nothing on him.
No, because the black splotches were there. Then I'm assuming they fade into the skin.
No, but
right.
But
what if that's like a manifestation of a symptom of the sickness?
Probably. Right, because the thing is,
I'm speculating. Because the thing is, I'm trying to make this movie seem better, than it actually is. At least it feels to
Wait,
me.
I'm trying to figure out what the movie was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they advertised the movie that It Comes at Night. Wait, I don't know what it is. Is it that Is it Pennywise the clown from the movie It? Is this just building up to the Stephen King cinematic universe?
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
What about the Conjuring universe?
Oh, that's right, and the Conjuring.
Oh yeah, we saw that weird the trailer for.
Yeah,
Annabelle.
apparently people wanted a goddamn prequel to the Conjuring. No, they wanted a spin-off of the Conjuring with the stupid doll.
No, they already had the spin-off, but this is a sequel to this spin-off.
Oh really? Oh, they already did a movie with the doll.
They did Annabelle, and I believe there was an Annabelle too. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Because
so that true we saw was the third movie in the franchise.
That may be the second movie, but it may be the third movie.
I didn't even realize they made a sequel to Annabelle. I legit because I remember I was hearing about they're making Annabelle. Okay, this is the Annabelle movie. I didn't realize they already made an Annabelle. Wow, boy. Okay, wow. Today I learned. Jesus Christ.
First of all, we should just say Annabelle. The Annabelle spin-off was terrible, but for some reason it was good enough to get a spin-off. Which I'm kind of interested in.
So is the Annabelle spin-off Days of Future Past? Oh, okay. So was the first Annabelle movie the Wolverine, and the prequel is Days of Future Past, where they try to correct the franchise?
And then one day we'll get Logan and Annabelle.
Right, and then one day we'll get The Last of Us. That's how the movie time. That's how the X-Men universe works.
Oh my God. Anyway,
nobody knows what the X-Men movie timeline is at this point.
Yeah, I know. At this point, I'm speculating a bit too much. We can do that after we discuss the disappointment of the movie.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Joseph, you got some disappointment you want to talk about in the movie?
Like maybe the plot points that never went anywhere.
Well, I mean, you guys already talked about the monster, but I mean, I'm still disappointed about it because it's like, I felt like there was like nothing about it in the end that mattered, because as soon as it shut up, a bunch of tension got built up with the families, but then it never comes up again, and it's just like, so what was the point of it? Why did they have to kill the dog for it? You know? And then if it's like if he was sick the whole time, then why did it take so long for the symptoms to show up? And bleh.
Oh, good cough, Joseph. Good cough.
Arigato. Shut the fuck up. Fucking weed. Anyway, so what was I saying? Something about the monster.
Yeah, you're talking about the dog.
Yeah, the dog. It was still alive after being gone for like a day or two and being killed by something. And also, did Travis kill the dog?
No.
Or was it like...
Oh, you're talking about in real life, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just like, did Travis kill the dog? Because, in the dream, he kind of showed up. But, like, what if it was, like, one of those weird dreams, like in, remember the movie Hide and Seek?
Yeah.
Remember how he thought he was writing in his journal, but he was really doing something else?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what if that was the thing?
Oh, he was sleepwalking?
He was, like, sleepwalking, but he didn't know what he was doing. He was just watching.
Yeah, because they did bring up the idea of sleepwalking. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. So what if he was, like, just sleepwalking and actually doing the stuff that he thought he was watching someone else do? Like, he was actually killed the dog.
Oh, that's at the end, I think that's what I'm a little pissed off because I kind of came to this conclusion. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong.
I think I know what the actual sickness or monster is. Paranoia. It might actually just be paranoia itself.
That's stupid.
Because it's like the thing or fear. It may actually be fear, paranoia. It's a kind of thing. Because the thing is, he's always been haunted by his from what we've seen, the nightmares only happened after his grandfather was killed by that sickness.
Yeah.
Right? And then we learn he hasn't been able to sleep well. He's kind of getting, really scared. Like, it's really scary nightmares for him. It's really building up the fear in him. And it's causing him to, it's like the fear is bringing him out, or the fear, or may actually be the monster. It's bringing him out slowly out into the woods. Really just, pulling him like a kind of a kind of siren song, but with fear.
It could just be a symptom.
Yeah, like
he's getting nightmares and stuff, hallucinations. It could just be a symptom, Liam.
Yeah, it's like, so the thing is, right?
I think its weapon might be fair. It's more,
So the
more
problem
like
is,
a term.
right, was they it was like they hyped this sickness up to be like this is like super plague, right? This is the super black plague, right? Because it was just like a regular symptom, like, hey, people are sick, all right, there's nothing to get worried about, right? But the problem is, like, throughout the middle, like, I was like, hey, yo, you heard about this plague? Like they hyped us like this is like T virus, like apocalyptic zombie like pandemic size scale. I was like, okay, that's fine, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, because they Will said, I was like, yeah, we're in the city. Then the spooky sickness came about, you know, and then and then we don't see anyone else. We see like these two random guys, but we don't know much about it. They're just like, hey, we're two random guys, right?
Who decided to shoot your truck for no reason?
That's
Yeah.
also why I think the sickness is not fear, because like if it was, then why would a bunch of random people have it in the first place? How would it start? Just because people were afraid of it?
I mean,
Makes no
it's a
sense.
single entity type of thing.
This makes no sense.
Yeah, like
Because if it is a monster, it seems like you only affect one person at a time. Because it only like it got the grandfather, then it got Travis.
yeah.
You know, so it builds off that fear, and it uses that fear to attract them. You know, basically bring it towards them.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, so another thing I have, like, so during one of the montage, we clearly saw they had like a whole radio setup going on. I was like, okay, cool radio setup. This is just like, I was like, okay, this is probably going to like I Am Legend, where they're trying to see, like, they're going to scan radio frequency, say, hey, by the way, no more sickness, or like to get like a government announcement, like, hey, come to whatever, come to Magical Land, come to Disney World, where there's a shelter. I was like, okay, that's probably smart, right? You know. But I was like, okay, well, but no, they literally just had like in the montage, you see like this super complicated setup where they have all the wires, and they have like this whole they have like radio.
It feels like this weird. It's the thing is with this movie, it feels like there's a whole like a lot of unfinished ideas that were in the movie.
Yeah,
but they couldn't accomplish it because of the time limit that they had.
Well, they literally could have cut off like nearly 9. They literally could have cut off the first hour, and it would have been fine, to be honest.
Probably.
And then they probably could have figured out. Then kind of could have gone more. I was like, that was the thing. I was like, they show up all these ideas that literally just went nowhere. I was like, so like what? Yeah, like what killed the dog? Okay, what's with like here's a sickness or something, right? By the way, don't go outside where super spooky stuff is happening, you know, right? It's like they just show up all these ideas, but I was like, oh, okay, here's the idea. Oh man, we didn't finish the idea. We just got the idea, and I was like they threw it like they had ideas that were going on, but I was like, oh. Damn, what do we do with these ideas? Oh, just shut up to the side. We'll worry about that later.
Like
we'll worry about the sequel. It comes at night, too. It comes tomorrow night. Shout out to that guy in the tier that came up with that.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it comes tomorrow night. Now, it doesn't come at night. It comes tomorrow night. But the question is, which tomorrow night?
Tomorrow.
Oh, you're right.
Oh my god.
You're right, William.
But anyway, that's basically how it feels, because it feels like it's like you get to you finish the first half of the movie and you expect something more to happen in the second half.
I was just really confused.
Yeah, it left a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, that's the thing.
In a disappointing way. Not in a way it was
it left like good questions. For like, okay, it'll be good. Yeah, it's good discussion, but it just left like just questions.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't like, oh, we'll see you in the next movie. I guess that makes sense. No, it's just like, that's how you're gonna end it, really? Okay.
you know, the worst part is there was no post-credit scene, right?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't stick around.
Nick Fury didn't show up and tell them about the Avengers Edition. That's who came at night. Well, it was Nick Fury this entire time.
The Avengers come at night.
Nick Fury comes every night, knocking at the door, and says, "Hey, I'm here to talk about the Avengers Initiative, but you guys don't answer the door, right?" So he's like, knocking at the door. Hey, what's the Avengers? I need to tell you guys about the Avengers Initiative. It's super important. We have to fight.
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Shield?
Yeah, Shield. By the way, that was when they got me. It was like, oh.
But the thing is, they build up so much, and you want answers, right? Now, it's fine if a movie doesn't answer your questions and it leaves you thinking about what happened. The thing is, with this, it doesn't feel as satisfying or as, stop it, Joseph. It doesn't feel like it feels like there's no point. Like, don't leave it here. We want to know more.
I want the dime now, William. I
Or
traded
just give us a
I traded
taste.
that donut for a dime, by the way.
It was a nickel.
I traded that nickel.
I told you this before.
I traded that cookie for a dime. For a nickel, whatever the fuck it's called.
But ultimately, the lack of payoff doesn't
Don't worry,
really.
Joseph. Don't worry, Joseph.
doesn't really.
By the way, so it's fine.
give a
By the way, not
satisfying
sponsored by Chips
conclusion
Ahoy,
to the
by the way.
They can't see it.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right.
I'm trying to make a point here, and you just guys are talking all over me.
No one cares, man.
It's a spoiler cast. We can talk about wherever we need to, as long as it's relevant to the movie. Chips Ahoy relevant to the movie because we're not sponsored, right? Because wait, you see these Chips Ahoy, right? We see them. We don't need to talk. We don't need to answer about
I'm
them.
gonna steal your other food, man. That's a promise.
Chips Ahoy are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Not as good as Oreos though. I'm not gonna answer anything else about Oreos. I'm just gonna mention Oreos. We're gonna talk about Oreos, but we're not gonna talk anything else about Oreos. Okay, so anyway, what were you saying?
I'm saying because of the lack of payoff. The lack of payoff in this movie just doesn't lead to a satisfactory conclusion. It's like you just want to know, like, you get everything. You get you get to, like, there's the fight with the family. They kill the other family, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of starts, it kind of starts calming down. You see that Travis is sick, and there's like the decision that these parents have to come up with.
Yeah, it's super calm. I just killed a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, what do we do with our son then? Do we just kill him? Or
Hell
what?
yeah.
Like, and you're not sure if it's after this, if they chose to, if they've already killed him or what. It's just really weird, and you expect something to happen between these two, and then it ends.
Maybe they just fucked on the table.
And that's literally the end of the movie, which ends in a way that feels like more should have happened afterwards, and that was the end of the first act. And that leaves you wanting more. And that's probably why it was so disappointing in the first place, because you want to know more. You want more out of this movie. Because it's actually it was a pretty decent movie. Not much in horror, except for maybe a jump scare or two with the nightmares.
See, because the thing is, I thought that the dad was actually the villain this entire time because they kept showing his paranoia. Did you just dab?
I heard you say dab, so I kind of just...
Okay, by the way, for all you listening, just dab, by the way.
I went for the old
late
2016 meme.
Oh, that's right. Wait, is it 2016 meme?
I don't know.
Oh. By the way, just to let people know how when this podcast was recorded, fidget spinners are still a thing. That's how people know when this spoiler cast was recorded, and it came at night, just came out. So that's how we could date this spoiler cast. So okay, like I was saying, so I was legitimately hoping more they would go with the dad, right? Because they kept showing his dad paranoia. I was like, okay, maybe in the end the dad was like the true villain of this, right? It was his paranoia that was taking over, right?
Because it's because of him that the whole family was because of his paranoia.
Yeah, like that's why when they shot the two random dudes. Like, what was that movie where the guy was keeping people locked up, saying that, by the way, super spooky things happening, right? But the world was completely normal around him, right? He was lying to the, like, I know this is a plot to something. Right, you know what I'm talking.
10 Cloverfield Lane?
No, it's not. Now, no, in 10 Cloverfield something was actually no. Like he was no, in 10 Cloverfield there was actually something that was happening outside, but he was keeping someone locked up, saying, by the way, there's something spooky happening outside, but not really. There's nothing really spooky happening outside. I'm just keeping you locked up because
It's not bumping up a man. You know the actress?
No, like I feel like
you're talking about the trailer for 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh,
because that's how it was portrayed.
Okay, then yeah. Well, because it's like this is a common This is a common story element where a guy keeps a person locked up saying, hey, spooky stuff happening in the world, but in reality it's just nothing spooky. It's just I'm just keeping you.
I don't know.
I'm just keeping you here. It was like, what was that Stephen King movie who already did that, right?
It.
It.
No, Mist.
Mist? Is it
No,
Mist?
The Mist wasn't like that.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't like that, but it's like it's
There's the movie with the writer in the snow and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know. That was Johnny Depp, right?
Was it Johnny Depp?
I think it was Johnny Depp.
I don't remember if it was Johnny Depp. This movie came out like the 80s or some shit. But anyway, yeah. So I thought I thought like the dad was just being super paranoid. Like there was nothing wrong with the world. So that's why he just shot those two guys before they explained what before they got like any answers. Like, oh, damn, I don't want my cover to go. So I'm just gonna shoot these two guys.
You see, that doesn't make sense entirely because of the other family.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Because they heard there's a sickness spreading in the city, and that's why they left.
Yeah, because like I was like, oh, okay. Because I thought like it was just his paranoia was like I thought like okay everything is just super normal and these people are just super paranoid about stuff.
I don't think that would make sense.
Yeah, well that was a train of thought I had when I was watching the movie.
See, the way you think of that, it makes me think of The Village.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of like too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like they're like it's just like I was like yeah that's what I'm thinking. I'm probably thinking of The Village at this point.
Yeah, you probably think of The Village because I remember that basically Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce Howard, I think was her name. And her character like goes over the wall and finds out, basically her village is some weird cult that just basically decides to
live in 19th century America, 16th century America.
It's basically.
You mean like the Amish?
It's basically medieval times.
It wasn't medieval.
No, medieval. Like,
No, it was like early settlement years, wasn't it?
Look, I'm saying it's basically like medieval times, and the fact that they kind of portray, like, they act out that they live in a certain era.
Like the Amish?
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
much.
Wait,
They're like the Amish.
but wasn't in the book? It was there were a theme park or some shit where people. Well, wasn't that a thing in the book where
I don't think the Amish are allowed to have theme parks also.
You're right. No, in the village. No. Wait, I'm thinking of a different book. No, there was a book, right, that was released around the same. I think it was the same time when the village came out, where it was like the plot was similar, where there was this girl that was living in a village, right, in like a village, right. She was like, oh, like, then one of the person gets sick, and then we find out that the village, like, she was living in like 17th century lifestyle, right, with no technology, right. And then she finds out that literally her village is just like a show, like a entertainment people pay to watch them live century America. I watch like cult people go, hey, this is how fucking idiots people were back in the 17th century with no modern medicine or TV. Evolve to the 19th centuries, alright, you idiots.
Oh, okay.
That was the problem with the 1700s. They weren't the 1900s. That was the problem, right?
Oh my god.
This is a special card.
Oh, you're right,
It needs
Joseph.
to be in a sleeve.
You're right, Joseph. You should probably put that in a sleeve. Alright, Joseph, you got any final thoughts? You want to put some final thoughts
This
down?
needs to be in a sleeve.
Actually, I don't know whose box. Oh wait, because me and David both got the same box.
This is just the one box.
Oh,
That's the same box right there.
Okay, no, that's my box. Okay, one of those Fire Emblem Cypher. But hey, Fire Emblem Cypher content coming out soon again, guys. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
I don't remember how to play that game.
Hey, just remember, out of the four YouTube English speaking YouTube channels that makes Fire Emblem Cypher, we're in the top 5. All right.
Oh my god.
That's how math works.
Yeah.
That's how math. Get your. William, I don't know what you're trying to do. This is pointy and it's stabbing your foot.
I'm just mad so much stuff didn't happen in that movie.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why.
Like, all that stuff just didn't happen.
Yeah, it's like literally, like I was saying earlier, the movie just felt like an entire first act or something. Like,
I mean, I think the thing is, it would have been better if they built up more tension. But the thing is, they basically built up the tension in the last 30 minutes of the movie.
yeah, like they didn't build up the tensions like throughout the movie, like in 10 Cloverfield Lane, like they built the entire tension in 10 Cloverfield. Joseph, please. So right now Joseph's playing with my anime dolls,
I made
right?
a joke. I put a dark hole under her.
Oh, nice.
Because it's a dark hole.
Nice.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's also David Shitty of Love Live waifu. By the way, Love Live, great anime. Not Love Live Sunshine. Love Live Sunshine could go fuck itself, alright? That's my thoughts. You guys want to know my thoughts on Love Live?
isn't Cinderella Girls good?
I don't.
No, that's Idolmaster.
No, Idolmaster's garbage as well.
Isn't that Idolmaster like the one with Cinderella Girls?
Yeah. That was the spin-off season.
Yeah.
So in the Idolmaster, by the way, this is the Idolmaster spoiler cast right now. By the way,
Um,
so in the Idolmaster, right, there was the original group, right, and then Cinderella group.
No.
What?
No.
And in Cinderella,
No.
it was a
No.
completely different group.
No.
Yes.
No.
No, that's the actual
No.
plot.
No. No.
Okay, so who was having final thought? Was it you or me? What I forgot. Before we got into this tangent about Idolmaster.
we're discussing basically.
Oh no, that reminds me. And also in another Idolmaster spell, they were in space with mechas. There was an Idolmaster.
Anyway,
No.
the reason why the movie probably failed was because of the lack of tension or the lack of horror that you would expect from a horror movie to,
No.
have.
Mm-hmm.
It had an extreme lack of it, and it was trying to build more tension than anything. This is more or less basically is more or less a decent suspense.
Yeah.
And even
Yes.
then, it doesn't really, the payoff at the end doesn't really, reward you for the suspense that they built up towards the end.
See.
Thanks, Joseph.
Okay, just-
Arigato gomenasai.
because the thing is, at certain moments in the film, they basically give these little pepperings, of basically making, okay, there's someone's lying here, or something's not right here.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Like, shut up, just.
Okay.
But like, the thing is, it's like. The thing is, they're there to basically give you this sense of, paranoia that the family is experiencing, so you experience it along with them. But the thing is, you don't feel much of it because this paranoia is built in put in the last 30 minutes of the movie And even then, it's just kind of like, it could just be like, maybe he got a detail wrong or something like that.
I kept just getting interested at most of those things. I was like, I wanted to figure everything out, and then it made me think about other things at the same time, and I couldn't figure anything out.
Yeah, like the pace of that movie was really strange. Like they drag out, like I would guess you would say the first act to all. They literally just drag like the entire thing. Majority of the movie was literally just the first act, like until like the last 30 minutes. Like when it was like that's where they put all the action. Like everything that happened probably was just literally they just dragged that entire premise out. Like here's some happy family montage moment, right? I was like, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I'm fine with happy, but they put that like so. They put like the montage like probably like the last. I want to say they put the montage in like the last 30 minutes of the film, right? Last.
There's like 30 minutes of a beginning, setting the world basically.
Yeah.
Right. Then the next 30 minutes is with the family.
Yeah, with the family.
And basically, they're having montage and shit.
Yeah.
And then the last 30 minutes is basically of the paranoia setting.
Yeah. So the first 6 minutes was really just was world building basically.
Yeah. And it's like.
So for the audio listeners right now, just has that weird Japanese candy where it has a hole where you can blow and make it sound like
it broke.
Oh, okay. Joseph broke the candy. Shout out to the Gashi Kashi. Good anime, by the way. Look, this is a the Gashi Kashi spoiler cast right now.
Stop. Anyway, let's get this done. But like, it's like they have again pepperonis on stuff to make like this doesn't seem right. It's just it's something's odd, something's weird, someone's lying, and. And it doesn't really do much for you because the thing is, like an example here is like Will is basically saying, oh yeah, when we were living in the city, we went to my brother's place, right, and just stayed there. He's like, oh, so it's just
my brother was already my brother's dead.
Yeah, my brother's dead, right? And then later on, Paul and Will are having a drink together, from Bud's old whiskey.
Old ass whiskey
stash. Mm-hmm. Right, and so he's basically saying, I was like, oh yeah, it was just me and like Will's like, oh, it's just me, my wife, and my son. He's like, oh well, what about your brother? It's like, oh, yeah, there was
no,
because like my brother-in-law. He was like a perfect
because he was like he asked about his family outside of that, and he said, oh, I was an only child with me and my dad. He's like,
yeah, that's right.
But you said you lived with your brother.
Yeah,
like,
he was explaining how he grew up and everything.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh,
well,
I thought you were my brother. Yeah, and he's like, oh no, I'm my brother-in-law, and you can basically he's like, you think. Huh, but it's not really enough to me. It kind of sets off an alarm. There was also something an interesting bit here, which was never really what's it called, answered or anything.
Like the entire movie.
Yeah, it's basically but it's like, oh my god. Anyway, it's like oh okay, savage. Anyway, it's basically like basically when they burned the body, the reason that Will was able to find the house was because of the smoke that rose from them burning the body, which was never really answered in the first place.
No, wait, they never answer how Will found the house. Like, right?
Because
people
he's like, I wouldn't have come in here if I thought it was abandoned.
Yeah, right. Because the thing is, they burned the body. There's something that triggered me. Like they burned the body at 2 different time slots. There was a scene where they burned the grandpa building like in
the grandpa's body, not his building. The
grandpa's body in like the middle of the day. I was like, okay. And then there was another scene where they burned the dog's body, and I was like, okay, what is the best time to be? You burn the body at night. You're not supposed to be out at night unless for super scary reasons. But I
think it's because if you kill it, it'll probably they probably think the disease would like get out.
Yeah,
so I was like, probably why.
So you have to kill it as fast as possible. I was like, yeah. See, I was like, okay. I was like, all right, you're burning the body, but you're like making try to get a big scene right there, right? Like, because you burn during the day, you're gonna get a lot of smoke. But if you burn at night, you have you can see the
fire. Yeah, a really bright fire.
In the middle of the night, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me get back to my last thoughts here.
Okay.
Now, again, I just gave you an example of them trying to set suspense or paranoia within the viewer.
Hi.
The thing is, for me, and probably because the main reason why it never sets in for me is like the thing is the paranoia and the fear never settles in with me. Probably because of the montage with the family where they're all happy and they're all getting along and they're having fun times and they're all they're all good.
They're showing that everyone's cool with each other.
Yeah, and I can understand why it showed that because they're like, oh man, you see how happy they are? That's not gonna happen now. But the thing is, it's like, it really like, it just kind of takes you away from the mood that they were setting in. It gives you a different mood than they're trying to pull you back into the fear again. But it doesn't work. And so because of that, you know, basically instead of fear and paranoia, you mainly get tension. Tension is different from fear, from what you're supposed to get from a horror movie. Because you're like, okay, all right, and conflict. You're like, oh shit, but you're not. Oh fuck, you know, you're not scared or anything. It's like, you know, they basically the family fights against each other. They kill each other.
One of them kills.
Yeah, one of them kills each other basically. The other family kills the other, but it's like, and then at the end, you know, you get like one last final nightmare sequence. It's probably supposed to tell the truth of what comes at night. Well, again, what I'm saying is why it's like maybe possibly either fear itself or the monster using fear against the family to drag its victims out. But aside from that, the thing is, it's like you see that one last nightmare. You see Travis is basically dying, and the family decides, oh, we have to kill our kid now. And then it ends, and it just ends. It's like, and because I'm like, this is a horror movie and I want to be scared or something, right? But because they pulled me out of that mood and they tried to put me back in, but it was unsuccessful because they decided to focus the conflict on the families themselves, you get no payoff. You get no real payoff. And that's why it's probably so disappointing for me. And so ultimately, this is a movie where, you know, they tried, but they failed. That's basically what I give it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so for an audience listener, like Joe just so my final thought was like the movie would just felt like an entire first act. Like I was saying, like they're building all these good ideas. Like okay, cool, super spooky night. All right, super spooky city. All right, cool, super spooky bandits in the woods. Spooky. All right, looking for super spooky supplies. Supplies.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just like The Last of Us, right?
The Last of Us.
Yeah, that's right. And then if something kills the dog, I was like, okay,
the
cool.
Dog.
Yeah. Well, I was like they put all these things, but ultimately they don't lead anywhere. I was like,
Nowhere.
yeah, that's right, Joseph. Thanks.
Again, just to piggyback off that, that's probably why the payoff isn't so good at all either.
Yeah. I was like, they were juggling around all these ideas that they never
culminated.
They just put all these, they're just throwing you all these concepts and things for you to ask questions. Like, all right, cool, I'm asking questions, but they don't throw you the answer. There's like, here are questions. Wow, Sugoi desu, you baka gaijin.
Yes.
Say it like it is, you fucking weeb.
I think the audio caught that, Joseph.
That's okay.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much my final thoughts. I was like, it ultimately did not go anywhere. Like, the entire movie just felt like a first act leading up to something we're supposed to be seeing more, but ultimately it didn't go anywhere. So
yeah, it just basically teases you. And that's
It's like One Piece.
just
like One Piece.
Did they finish that yet?
No, it's still going on.
Damn.
No, just right now, speaking of One Piece, they're probably in one of the best arc right now in One Piece. But right now, One Piece is literally Game of Thrones. No, I'm not. It's literally the Red Wedding right now in Game of Thrones.
I have not watched.
You don't need to watch One Piece. Only idiots watch One Piece. You have to read One Piece. There's only 800. There's only 800 chapters out so far, Joseph.
You can probably read all of them in all honesty.
Yeah.
I mean, but right now One Piece is literally the Red Wedding right now. Nice. But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, it just leaves a lot of questions that ultimately they do not answer. They're like, yeah, it's like here's a bunch of things for you to ask questions about that we're not gonna bother. Joseph, don't do that, please. Don't blow the bubbles. Okay, good. I never opened those bubbles. I got as a gift.
It's funny because everyone else in the audience was disappointed in the movie too.
Wait,
he's like, what comes at night, man?
Yeah. Did you say you never opened bubbles in Afghan? I was really confused.
No, when I got as a gift. Those bubbles I got as a gift, I never opened them.
Why?
Because what the fuck am I gonna blow bubbles?
Why wouldn't you blow bubbles?
You're right. That's a good.
You had those things on your roof. Why would you not blow bubbles?
You're right, dude. That's not my roof. That's my ceiling, Joseph.
That's a roof ceiling.
Okay then, that's a good way to end this spoiler cast. Thanks for watching.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. We're ending it on bubbles.